Hey guys, this is Balu and today in this tutorial I will show how you can create this kind of CGI product ads in Blender easily without using any paid add-ons. So hope you will find the video useful. I will keep a target of 20 likes. Hope you will complete the target. So before proceeding to the tutorial, first we need to download some scripts. So here I will leave a link in the description for this page where we need to download this After Effects to Blender zip file and also export composition data to JSON. Simply click on this and these both files will be downloaded. So we need to download both the files. So after downloading that, come to this After Effects, go to this file option, scripts, select this install script file and select this export composition data to JSON. After selecting that, simply click on that select. So it will be installed and later go to this edit, preferences, come to this scripting and expressions. So here just enable this allow scripts to write files and access network. So it will be disabled, enable it and OK and restart After Effects. So now come to this Blender. Here we need to install the add-on what we have downloaded. So for that go to this edit, preferences, come to this get extensions. And by the way, here I am using 4.5 version. Let me show you that. So here if I come to this splash screen, you can see this is 4.5 version. Okay, now come to this edit, preferences, get extensions, click on this drop down arrow, install from disk and move on to the location where we have downloaded the add-on. So here I got this After Effects to Blender. Simply select it and install it from disk. So it will be installed and later save the preferences and close this. So once this is done, now we can proceed to the tutorial. So now after restarting After Effects, let's load our footage onto this project panel. So here we can directly select the footage and drop it onto this project panel. And by the way, I will leave a link in the description for this footage. So here the footage is vertical format, that is 1080 by 1920 and FPS is 30 FPS. Okay, so remember these details. Now let's select this video file and drop it onto this composition so that it creates a new composition with the footage settings. Okay, here you can see we got our footage, right? Here the footage is not steady. So here we got some camera movements. So for that reason, first we need to track this footage. So for that, come to this window, click on this tracker. So we got the tracker options, right? So being selected our footage, click on this track camera. So it starts to analyze our footage and gives us some tracking points when it is done. So here this analyzing is done and we got some track points here. So now let's select few track points. So let me zoom in here. I will place a CGI object at this position. So I need to select the track points which are around it. So hold left mouse click and simply drag or draw on the track points here. So you can see these track points are selected. Now right click, create solid and camera. So now we got a solid created here. So let me bring it up. So let's select this track solid, press R on the keyboard. Let's rotate this here like this. So make sure this Z-axis is facing upwards. And also let's rotate it. And basically we are making this solid to follow this orientation of our footage. So if I play this now, you can see this track solid is staying in its position. Now we need to export this tracking data into Blender. For that we will be using the script. So select this 3D tracker camera and also this track solid. We need to select both the layers. Now come to this file option, come to the scripts here and select this export composition data to JSON. Here we need to select a location where we have to save the file. So click on this browse. So I will save it in downloads only and I will rename this as tracking data, save and click on this export. So now we can close this After Effects and open Blender. Here we are in Blender. So now let's import the tracking data into Blender. So go to this file option, import, select this After Effects composition data and locate the file. So it is in download. So come to this download options, and this is tracking data. Select it and import AE comp. So if I zoom out here, you can see we got the camera and track solid. So if I press 0 to see through camera, we got the resolution mismatched with the vertical footage. So now we need to adjust this resolution. So let's select the camera here, come to this output properties. So resolution, we know it is vertical, right? So let's change this to 1080 by 1920, and FPLs also we know. So let's change this frames to 30. Okay, so this is enough. So if you want to increase the frame rate, I think the footage is of 400 frames, but here I will restrict this to 250 only. So I will leave the footage frame rate here. So now come to this camera options. Being selected this camera, come to this camera object data properties, expand this background images, expand this one, add image, and we need to select the movie clip here. Change this to movie clip and click on this open option, and we need to select the footage once again. So it is in downloads only. So here I got the footage. So select the footage and open clip. Now we got the footage visible in camera layer. Scroll down and increase the opacity here. So if I play this here, you can see the solid is staying in its position. So let's zoom it. So here we got the solid what we have created in After Effects, right? So we got that solid only. So it is staying in its position. So before going to add the CGI objects, first we need to bring the solid onto this origin point. So if I check this, you can see the solid is here, whereas our origin points or this world origin is here. So here we need to make this plane stand onto this origin point, because it will be easy if we add CGI objects. So let's do that. So we can't select both the objects here and place them randomly onto this world origin. It will mess up the tracking data. So here you can see we got the tracking data, right? So here I need to mention one thing. So After Effects starts from 0, whereas Blender starts from 1, first frame. So here you can see in Blender we are getting this from first frame, whereas in After Effects we will have our timeline starting from 0. So for that reason we got a single frame moved behind this first frame. So now we need to bring this tracking data to this starting frame. So press A on the keyboard, placing this cursor onto the timeline. Press A to select all the keyframes. Press G and move one frame backward. So make sure to do this thing. After that, let's move this tracking solid onto this world origin. So let's create an empty for that. So let's select the camera axis. So select the camera axis here. Here I have selected the camera axis. So let's bring this origin point onto this camera. So Shift S, hold Shift and S and select this cursor to select it. So we got the cursor here. Now let's add empty. So Shift A, or let's go to this add, come to this empty and select this arrows here. Now press S and increase the scaling. So this is the empty what we have created. Now we need to parent this camera axis. Here you can see we got XYZ axis of the camera, right? We need to parent this to the empty what we have created. So select the axis of our camera, hold Shift key and select the empty what we have created. Now press Ctrl plus P. So select this object keep transform option. In the same way, we need to parent this object to this empty. So let's select these objects here, hold Shift key, select the empty, Ctrl P and select this second option, which is object keep transform. So now using this empty, we can move this entire scene. You can see we are moving the entire scene, right? So press 7 on the keyboard for top view. So first of all, let's adjust the rotation. So let's rotate this here. So I think this is fine. Now press G and let's bring it at the center. Now press 1 on the keyboard. So we got the track solid here. We need to bring it on the top of this grid. So G and bring it onto the top here. So here you can see we got this track solid, right? So now you can see we got the track solid. So G, Z and bring it onto this axis point. Now press 3 on the keyboard for side view. And here we need to rotate this thing. So here I think this is fine. No, I think your able to see, right? So this is the solid. So we need to place this solid exactly onto this axis. So let's rotate this. So let's select the empty here. Now R, Y, and rotate it so that it is exactly onto the axis. Now again press 1 on the keyboard, and again we need to tilt this. So R, X, and tilt it here. Now G, Z, bring it onto this point. So now we got the solid onto this world origin. So now we can place anything onto this track solid. So I think we need to move this a bit. So Z, Y, sorry, X, and let's bring it at the center. Okay, fine. So now we got this track solid exactly onto this world origin. So now let's bring the origin point or this center. So Shift S, cursor to world origin. Nice. So we got the cursor point also here. So let's increase the scaling of this track solid. So let's select the track solid here. Change this to edit mode, or else you can press tab key. Now select the vertices here. Change this to vertex selection and select the vertices here. And let's move the vertex point here, backside. Let's select both the vertices and bring it front. Now let's select the vertices here. So now go to this options and change this to object mode. So now let's import our 3D model. Here you can use any kind of 3D model. So in order to get 3D models here, I will be using this Blender Kit add-on, which is free to download. So here I will search as body lotion, and let's select the presets like free one. So all these are free. So here I will select this first one only. So simply click on the image and it will be loaded onto this here. So here we got this, right? So right click, select object. It is very small here. So let's increase the scaling. So now you can see we got the product exactly onto this. So it is parented to empty. So here you can see this is parented to empty, right? So first we need to create this parent. So select the empty here, Alt P, clear and keep transform. Select the object. Here the object is not a single mesh. So let's select this portion, Alt P, clear and keep transform. Select this portion, Alt P, clear and keep transform. Select this portion, Alt P, clear and keep transform. Now select the empty here and delete the empty. Now we need to join these objects. So here we got the 3 objects, right? We need to make it as single. So I will select all the objects here and I want to join these objects, right? So press Ctrl plus J. So now this is a single object. So now you can see we got the single object, right? So here I want this object to be falling from above. So I will place this above. Before to that, we need to apply the scalings. So since we have increased the scaling, so if I press N on the keyboard, we can see the scaling here. The scaling is 70, 70, 70. So we need to make this default, which is 1. So for that, select the object here, go to the object, apply scale. Now you can see this is set to default. And also we need to have the origin point at the center. So select the object here, go to this object, set origin to geometry. Now we got this at this position. Press N on the keyboard to close these options. So let's bring this object above to the screen. Okay. Now come to this physics property, add rigid body. So type let it be active. So now let's see what will happen. So if I play this now, you can see our object is falling down, but it is not interacting with the plane. So let's select the empty here, go to this physics property, add rigid body, but type change it to passive. So now if I play this, it will interact with the ground plane. So here you can say this is falling down and it is not behaving properly, right? So let's select this object, come to the shape option and change it to mesh, and let's say this once again. So if I play this now you can say this is behaving a bit differently. So it is staying there only. Nice. So let's select this one also. Let's apply the scaling for this also. So Shift A, apply scaling. So now if I play this, you can see we got this bottle falling down onto the ground and it is staying there only. Nice, which is looking good. So I think I need to increase the frames. So I will increase the frames here. a bit. By 260th frame it is settling down, right? So I will change this to 265. Okay, nice. So now we got this animation done. Now we need to bake the simulation. So for that, let's come to this scene properties. Where is this? Come to the scene properties here. Expand this rigid body world. Expand this cache option. And here simulation start and end is 250, right? So here I will increase the end frame to 265. I want this simulation to be staying like 255 frames. And now click on this bake option. So here the bake is done, and if I play this now, you can see we got our simulation done properly. So before moving to next process, let's save the project. So go to this file option, save. So here the file is saved. So now let's move on to this render viewport here. Here the scene is looking dark because there is no light in the scene. So now let's add HDRA for lighting. So come to this world properties here. Click on this yellow dot and select this environment texture. And from here we will be loading an HDRA. So I will be using this Polyheaven website to download the HDRA. So I will use this HDRA, or else let's see. So I think I will use this one. So select the HDRA and download the HDRA here. So once the HDRA is downloaded, let's load it here. So click on this open, and here I got the HDRA. So where is it? So this is the HDRA which I have downloaded, right? So select the HDRA and open image. Now we can see we got some light in the scene, whereas our video is not visible. So come to this render properties, scroll down, come to this film option and enable this transparent. Now we got our footage visible. So enable this transparent option also. So now let's come to this color management and view transform. Let it be standard so that we will get the true colors visible. Okay, so I think this is fine. So enable this ray tracing option also. So now we need to hide out this ground plane. So for that we will be using cycles, and whereas using cycles we will have the shadows of our object falling onto this ground plane. So let's see how to do that. So before do that, let's change the render engine to cycles, device, select GPU compute. Okay, so after that let's select the ground plane here, come to this object properties, scroll down, come to this visibility option and enable this shadow catcher. So now this will catch the shadows of our objects. So here you can see we are getting the shadows of the object visible, and if you want to rotate the shadows we need to rotate the HDRA. So come to this shading workspace and change this to world, and here we got this node, right, which is our image node. We need to add mapping node. So simply press Ctrl T for node wrangler, and by the way, if you not enable node wrangler, go to this edit, preferences, come to this add-ons and look for node, NOD, search node wrangler, enable this, save the preferences. Okay, close it. After that select this image node, press Ctrl T, and now using this rotation option we can rotate the HDRA. So here you can see we are able to rotate the HDRA and the shadows are also rotating. So I'll make it -110. Okay, so the shadows are falling here. So if I play this now, okay, we got the shadows also visible in the scene. Nice. So depending upon the scene we can rotate the shadow. So I think this is fine for this tutorial. So now we need to render the scene node. Now come to this render settings once again. So here render samples I will reduce this to 16, and noise threshold I will make it 0.1. So these both settings are to reduce the render time. If your device is capable to render more samples, you can leave this to default, or you can have the number what you like. So here my system is not capable, so I'm reducing this to maximum samples to 16 and noise threshold to 0.1. And further you can reduce this light paths also. So total here 12, right, I will make it 6 so that the bouncing of light will be reduced, and transmission also I will make it 6. So these settings are to reduce the render time. So once these settings are done, come to this output properties. So make sure the resolution is okay. Enable this render region, crop to render region, frame rate is okay, and frame start and end 1 to 265 is fine. output, here we need to select a folder where we can save the files. So quickly I will select a folder to save the file. Here I have selected a folder to save the output file. So now come to this file format. File format, let it be PNG and make sure this RGB is selected or else we won't get the alpha channel. So once these settings are done, go to this render and click on this render animation. So this renders only the CG objects. So that means we will get the CG object what we have added and we will get the shadows visible in the render. We won't get the video visible. So once the sequence is rendered, we need to use any editing software to do the composting and render it once again. So in this way we can create this kind of CGI ads without using any paid add-ons easily. So hope you guys have learned something new from this tutorial. So we'll meet in the next video. Until then, signing off. Take care. Bye.